The new star, 92.7 Chicago. You are my inspiration. Hey, good morning. It's Mark Grauer, 6:36. Nice to have you here this morning. Getting into this Monday together. Well, it is a mental health day today, and I think that's such an important topic. People who have not gone through depression will never fully understand what it's like to go through depression. Depression is a lot like having the flu. That's the way I look at it. Being ill, and it's chemical. It's usually anxiety-driven, where your brain is circular thinking, going around and burning your serotonins. And when you get, 30-plus years old, your serotonins don't replenish fast enough, which causes little things to become huge things. And usually it's just being tired. It's like your battery is gone, and you just don't have the energy to deal with it. And with the lack of serotonins, it's a spiral. I've had depression. I know what it's like. I had what's called situational depression after I got a divorce. And it hit me really hard. I mean, I won't go into detail, but it was tough. It was really hard going through. And I remember when I was in high school, a buddy of mine, still friends today, we used to go out bike riding together, did centuries together. We did a lot of stuff. He was very athletic. We were athletic together, and just had we're into that mindset. And I called Curtis when I was going through depression and just told him, brother, I'm going through depression. And he said, well, welcome to the club. I've been going through depression since we were in high school. And I said, why didn't you tell me that? And he said, because I felt embarrassed to tell anybody. And I think that's the thing, is it's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's an understanding that's really a chemical thing. I got somebody on the phone here that I think is a good topic raiser for this. Jamal Jumanji, an Amazon best-selling author, podcaster, and full-time life coach with us. You touched a few points in your writings. A lot of it has to do with just living a joyful life, not just an existence.
Yes, and I always say this, the way you experience life is the quality of your life, and how you feel on a moment-by-moment basis will determine if your life, what people call success or what people call failure as a life. I look at it, if you can go through this experience of life and you can fully enjoy what it is that you're doing in this moment, you cannot top that. There is no success that goes beyond that.
So to find that joy, that's really that's the key right there. A lot of things that rob us of joy would be like fear. Probably the number one thing to rob us of joy right now is fear, wouldn't you say?
I totally agree. And fear, what's interesting about fear is that it's often, if you think about it, a fearful thought usually has to do with the future. It has, and I like to tell people in my coaching work, I always say, you have no problems right now in this moment. If you just look at this moment, there are situations happening. There's no actual problems. A problem is literally, it's an invention or creation of our psychological mind, and it's always in the future, even if it's just 5 minutes in the future. A problem is something we perceive not happening the way we want it, or something happening, something going wrong. It's always in the future, but the future doesn't exist. So I like to say, well, where are we getting this imagination of this dreadful future that we're afraid of? And it's coming from, oftentimes, and this isn't conscious, but it's coming from the mind only has one place to get information from, typically, and that's the past. So we're drawing from our past something that maybe is unresolved, some trauma, something that affected us, and we're projecting that out into a future that does not exist.
Boy, that's so true, isn't it? We tend to fantasize the worst sometimes in our brains about the future. Jamal Jumanji there on the new star 92.7. Good morning. Going to have a warm day today. Another one in the upper 80s. Yeah.